Episode 57.
Right.
Welcome back home, Brock. That's
Hello.
it. Hi.
You know, I grew up here.
I know, but you were gone for a week.
No, you're supposed to say, well, you're going to die here. Like from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to die here.
No.
I think you're going to die somewhere else.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Brock going to die. But you did survive Mexican.
I did.
Because you drank a lot of alcohol.
Yes.
No, you don't drink that much, actually.
I can just drink a lot and not look drunk.
That's a lie. I've seen you drink. You enjoy nothing more than a nice.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, let's go on to this because, I really wanted to talk to you about something that came up this last week when you were in Mexico. A friend of ours was visiting from Las Vegas, Nevada. You've never met this person.
Oh, okay.
I met this person in passing once. And now
Oh,
I
I see. Yeah.
A friend, Marsha's friend. I'll just
Yeah,
say
yeah,
Marsha. So, but he's from Las Vegas. He came up here.
Yeah.
And he loves soccer. We went to a soccer game when he was here. And then he came over for a drink on the balcony. And there was 4 of us on the balcony. And he goes, "Hey, I heard you have a Star Wars podcast."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, we talk about Star Wars." And he goes, and he just kind of stopped me from talking. And he said, "I loved Rogue One." And this is what he said. He goes, "I loved Rogue One. So good." And then right after that, he goes, "The next Rogue One's Han Solo, right?" That's what he said to me. The next Rogue One was Han Solo. And I said, "Yeah, the next film is this episode." He goes, yeah, but the next Rogue One. He loved Rogue One so much. And then I told him about Han Solo. I said, "Yeah, but so it's Han Solo, yeah, blah, blah." And he goes, "Who's playing him?" And I was like, "This is like the nobody, blah, blah, blah." And then Donald Glover. He goes, "Donald Glover, cool." But then he said, and then I said, and they fired the directors, and now they were reshooting, and Ron Howard's directing it.
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, Ron Howard." He was so excited about Ron Howard. And the thing that really caught me off guard was how little he knew, how excited he was at Ron Howard directing it, and how he is the audience that Disney Lucasfilm really needs to target. Because like we say, we're sold, you guys are sold.
Yeah.
But him, Rogue One, he could not get over Rogue One. And he was so into Rogue One.
It is true. Like it's funny when normies just talk about Star Wars. They're like, "Oh, I loved Rogue One. It's better than Force Awakens." Da, da, da. I'm like, whoa, people with opinions. But yeah, that's awesome.
But their opinions are like innocent. You know what I mean? Like there's no animosity or fanboy. There's not. It's just like a pure innocent. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And like I said, like he had no idea that Lord and Miller were directing it to begin with. And when I mentioned them, he had no idea who they were anyway.
Yeah, of course,
I said the 21 Jump Street guys. He goes, "Oh, okay." But he was so excited about Ron Howard, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, I have no idea how they're going to sell this film, but I'm sure Ron Howard's name will be in the marketing at some point, which will be unusual for a Star Wars film.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
This is Rebel Scum Podcast.
Yeah, it's the 57th episode of Rebel Scum. This is
Brock.
I'm James. Thanks, guys. I just wanted to get that story out of the way because I thought it was...
That's crazy. That's cool, though. Like,
yeah, it's a different point of view. A certain point of view,
yeah.
if you will. We have a great show. We're talking Snoke. We got top 5 villains we'd like to see in the Obi-Wan film.
What?
Hollow news. And Brock is burnt from the waist down.
No.
Did you get
it starts here.
Okay.
And stops.
That's actually that's still your Florida burn. I believe.
No, I know. No. It's I purposely didn't wear suntan lotion the last 2 days, and it's already gone away. I'm like, great.
Purposely. That's not good. Skin cancer is dangerous.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, you don't want it. Anyway, welcome back, as we said, to the show. Let's get right onto the talk of The Last Jedi. Are you excited for this film?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. Hold on. I'm trying to change the graphic. There we go. It's this new OBS update. It's throwing me off.
What?
So Last Jedi is coming out. Snoke is going to be a big factor. I don't know if you saw that poster that was released. People are saying it's official, so I'm going to take their word for it. We'll put it on the Facebook page. It is, if you looked at this thumbnail, that's jokes. That's Snoke's giant head.
Okay.
And Kylo Ren is kneeling before him with Patronian guards. And apparently that is some kind of poster, whether it's for Force Friday or not, I don't know.
Interesting.
But apparently it's official. It looks really cool, so I'm kind of hoping it seems like one that you would buy at like a Walmart rack, like that kind of poster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But either way, it's very cool. But somebody commented, I'm sorry I forget your name, but somebody commented last week, what if Snoke was the creator? And so it was like, what if Snoke is the one who created the galaxy?
Right.
What if this whole galaxy far, far away is all of Snoke's creation? What do you think about that?
I can get behind that. That's sort of like Bindu sort of area sort of thing where he's a cosmic entity. I can get behind that, but then the problem is when you're or if you're a being of that kind of power that you can create a galaxy, you tend to not take a side. You know what I mean? You're sort of like the Bindu kind of doesn't take a side, even though it kind of does. It's sort of like, oh, there's more bigger things than your minor little battles. Though, if we take the cue from like Guardians of the Galaxy with the Ego character, who literally is a living planet and can make planets and stuff like that, it's doable. I could be for it, but then if you destroy Snoke, what happens to the galaxy? Maybe nothing, but you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like...
Well, maybe that's where this is going. Maybe they destroy the entire galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the idea that, because we've talked about this before, but Revenge of the Sith were in the, I believe, novelization. Is it just novelization? Yeah, it's not in the movie, obviously, but when Palpatine admits that he's the one that kind of created Anakin, that he's the one that created life inside of Shmi. Do you like the idea that they could go back, retcon it? It's not Palps, but it's Snoke. Snoke is the one that maybe did that?
That'd be cool. Since it's just the novelization, I feel like they need to explain that. Like,
well, Pablo Hidalgo said that the novelization is canon, but only the parts that are in the movie. So that's not in the movie, so that's not canon.
Right.
Which is so confusing, but whatever. It is.
Well, not so much the retconning, but like I don't think they've ever really pointed out in the movies as like, oh, maybe Palpatine had his hand in it. I mean, it is like a plot hole. It's like, oh, I just immaculately concepted him. Like, okay, but what? Why? Sort of thing.
Because he's the chosen one.
He's the chosen one, yeah.
Bring balance to the Force.
Does that mean if you're a chosen one, you have to have no daddy?
Do you think Rey's gonna have a father?
Yeah, I think so. It's just there's so much unknown, right? Like, it's like, why are you there, sort of thing. Why do people like to leave their kids on desert planets? But going back to Snoke, yeah, I could be in for that, but like, it just seems odd to have some kind of higher power. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like Star Wars hasn't really had a deity of any sort. Mm-hmm. I know the Bindu, like I said, I love the Bindu, but not
in the films either, though.
He's not in the films. Yeah, like, it's like we have the Force, and we can call that religion. Okay, I can accept that, but like, I don't know. It's just like it's the Force. The Force is like the Force. Just their answer for everything is the Force does everything we need to do. So it's sort of like, I don't know. I'm for it again, but I don't know how they would play it out. Your thoughts?
Since I read the trilogy of Aftermath novels, I've kind of had this feeling that Snoke is possibly a fallen will or just pure dark side. Right. Which doesn't mean he necessarily created anything, but I mean, what if he? And I know some people said, well, a will is like the Bendu. It's in the middle. It doesn't. Right. So it can't be bad. But if it is a fallen will, like an angel, you would say, like Snoke could also be an angel, which Andrew and Josh did a vote of no confidence where they think maybe Snoke could be an angel. At one point, Angel were in the Clone Wars, and they do look similar to Snoke. I don't think that J.J. Abrams and company looked that far back in what they had to determine what Snoke was necessarily. Right. And I don't think the story group... I mean, if you listen to the Rian Johnson stories, when he talks about it, he said the story group really almost wanted nothing to do with him in a lot of ways. They're like, do your own thing, and then you come to us. So I feel like J.J. Abrams on his own, going back, watching the Clone Wars to make... Also, if you look at the amount of time he had to do it, I just don't think that would be possible, right? Right. So if he is an angel, let's say, it's not associated with Clone Wars. It's just the story group might have been like, this is how it can work out. Right. But the fallen will, I do think that, he could be neutral, and then all of a sudden something connects with this being and decides to turn and twist. I don't think he created the galaxy. I like the idea that he could have created Anakin in a lot of ways. I don't know how you would tie that in, because it's been 30 years since Darth Vader died. you know, why wouldn't he show up at all during that time, and why would it take him 30 years after to come around?
Right.
But if he's someone that was kind of lost in the unknown regions, like this spirit something out there, and he could communicate through darkness to Palpatine and all these other dark side users to kind of come through. The question is, why did this dark side entity thingy not communicate with Vader?
Well, maybe Vader was the experiment and it failed.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, and like something like that, if that is the case, something to set that up takes years and years and years, right? You plant this child and then you have to bring it up through whatever. So maybe that 40 years in between, he returns to the scene to make this all work, or maybe like, this isn't gonna work, I'm gonna take over now. Yeah. Okay. And that's why he sets up the First Order or what have you. I mean, think about it, the First Order, as we know from Bloodline, is it's an offshoot of the New Republic, right? Like people want it, so that's why the First Order comes up again, because they're not happy with where things are going. So like that takes time as well to rebuild that. So maybe Rey is our new chosen one, and like it's same idea. It's like, okay, let's put her over here. She stays there, and then we'll come back to her or whatever. But things keep getting in the way. Maybe they're battling the Force. Maybe Snoke is the true enemy of the Force, where the Force is always trying to unravel what he's doing. So
I like that idea that he's the enemy of the Force itself. Like he's the anti-Force. That's kind of an interesting, different way to take the galaxy, the Star Wars universe as we know it, too.
Because if like the chosen one, if you could consider them the personification of the light side of the Force, then Snoke and like Palpatine are the personification of the dark side, and that's maybe it's something like that. But again, that takes a lot of explaining, because it's like we understand there's the Force, and you can use it for good and evil, but we've never been shown the idea that, like, I mean, for moviegoers, we haven't seen it. I mean, we had that episode in Clone Wars where there's literally, I'm the dark side, I'm the light side, and I'm the Force.
But I think that goes back to what I just said off the top of the show, is not like that guy that I was talking to was not.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Didn't care. He loved Rogue One though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so, he liked The Force Awakens. He's going to go see Last Jedi, obviously, but he's not so connected in the galaxy. So the answer to all these questions has to be simple enough. It's not simple. I shouldn't say simple enough. Look, Snoke can be the most complex character ever put in a film, but as long as you can explain it in one sentence by Luke or Rey or Kylo or Snoke himself, it doesn't matter. And then we could get the books and the comics and the cartoons and the backstory that way. But really, all he has to do is be like, I created the universe. And that's all. It's like we say with Palpatine in the original trilogy. He doesn't show up until Return of the Jedi, minus that like 10-second scene that he's in Empire, right? Where he was originally a woman with a monkey eye. You know what I mean? So like, the important, like, who he was did not matter when we initially watched Star Wars. It wasn't until the prequels that were like, oh, he was this guy from Naboo, and he worked his way up, and this was his plan all along, and he played everybody. Yeah. Really, we were just like, nah, it's the Emperor. You just accept it. And so there is a part of, I think, the sequel trilogy where they could just be accepted.
Right. Yeah, I could. This is like it's funny to talk about this, because we talk about this like for the last year, but it's like it's such uncharted territory where it's like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. Like, yeah, I think Snoke. I think his backstory is going to be very interesting. I think like, all right, I don't know. I mean, it's like he's like Palpatine. Like at the end of the day, he could just be the replacement villain, right? So
yeah, which Rian Johnson said you're not really going to learn much about Snoke in Last Jedi.
Right.
So if you're going to learn all about him in the 9th one, that means his backstory that we learned from the films is going to be shortened. It has to be shortened.
Yeah.
To something not shortened, but it can't be extravagant. Because if it's really extravagant, you started in 8 and you ended in 9. Yeah. Now it's just going to be 9, and I'm okay with that. If it's like I said, like we were fine with Palpatine.
How mad would you be if they took episode 9 made into 2 parts? like Twilight and Harry Potter.
I think they've learned from, because it worked for Harry Potter, it worked for Twilight, it slowed down for Hunger Games, and it killed Divergent.
Yeah, no,
and
it did.
It killed it so bad that Avengers was like, no, this is just one movie and another movie, that they're not even calling Infinity War 1 and 2 anymore. They're like, no, it's not 1 and 2. So if they do that, that's ballsy.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
I hope not. Like, I mean, our Star Wars is sort of like they invented the idea of movie series or movie trilogies. Like, no, just do it in one movie and then make the next one 10. Like, don't complicate it.
And this one's 9.5. 9 Rogue One. I watched Rogue One last night, actually.
9A. Nice.
This is not on our rundown, but did you hear about Maz Kanata?
I saw an article. I didn't read it. Like her character's different or something like that.
No, her character's in it, but do you want me to spoil it? So spoil
go ahead.
it. And there will be no spoilers. So I guess if I do this
Spoilers.
after, you can pay attention if you have not read it. But anyway, Maz Kanata, who if you have not seen the video I did with Andrew on Maz Kanata, where I say she's kind of useless, you can go back and watch it. Look, she looks cool.
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o's great in it, but her role is kind of meaningless. This is my thing with with a lot of the Force Awakens stuff is like Knights of Ren, for instance. Like we're like, oh, Knights of Ren are the most interesting ever, but they're not at all.
Yeah.
Like they're not. It's just because we hear that they are. So anyway, Maz Kanata, apparently because of what happened on Takodana, she goes into hiding and she's like in the underworld. And Finn and Rose go and find her, and she's the one that tells them about DJ, the Slicer.
Okay.
So that's her role. And I guess that is I was speculating with Andrew how you bring her back in because she's like she doesn't connect at all other than the scene that she's in. Like there's no reason for her to ever show up, but that makes complete sense.
I mean, yeah, that could work. It's like the Oracle and Matrix doesn't really serve any purpose besides to make the plot move.
Yeah.
So I mean, I not to make this the Matrix hour, but like the actress that played the Oracle passed away after the second one, so it's like I bet she would have been in it again the third time, sort of like. I guess it's like a Yoda. Like she replaces Yoda, where like Yoda is interesting, but he's far more interesting after you get the prequels. You know what I mean? Like,
but I still think Yoda serves more of a purpose in the original trilogy than Maz did. Like Maz was just there to get Rey the lightsaber. That was my only thing with it. Like, it's just like she's just there to get her the lightsaber. Like there could have been. I think her character, given what we all think of her character, I think they could have done it in a more successful way. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I was watching. The Mystery Box, J.J. Abrams' Mystery Box on YouTube. It's a TED Talk from 9 years ago. I've seen it before. I usually like, whenever I start writing something, I like to watch that because the Mystery Box is very cool where you introduce this and then you pay it off. You introduce this and you pay it off. Yeah. And he goes, and the last line he says is, whenever you watch a movie that rips off another movie or a sequel, the problem is they're ripping off the wrong aspect of the movie. They're ripping off the shark in Jaws, but they should be ripping off the characters, which makes complete sense. Yeah. But I think in Maz Kanata's place, he didn't quite get Yoda. He got the idea of you. Like he went. He didn't follow through on what he normally does. But anyway, that's a great. If you ever want to write or think of storytelling, it's cool to watch that because it's smart.
Cool.
That's how it is. This is Maz Kanata hour. I don't know. Well, you probably didn't see I Rebel on Saturday because you were in Mexico. Yeah. But Andrew and I talk about Mad Max for about 30 minutes.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
What episodes are you on now? I know you're on the Clones.
I think this weekend one video's coming out this weekend or 2. Yeah, the Clones. We're on like 6 now. 6, 7, 8. Cool. We might do 2 this weekend, so stay tuned because season 4 is coming. Yeah. And you're going to go on Saturday to Fan Expo Toronto.
Boom. You know
check
it.
Out, and you're going to report from there. Yeah. We'll have to figure out how we're going to get those on the YouTubes. We'll get it there. So stay tuned for his report, for Brock's report on Rebels. Maybe you can meet up with Andrew that day and then like ditch him.
Yeah, totally.
We might try to run into him on Friday. He's going to be there on Friday for sure. Okay. I know that. So yeah, we'll be there. We're going to do a video. Well, you're going to do videos from there. I might do one today with you, but we'll see how it goes. It won't be much Star Wars today, but maybe I'll buy a Black Series figure. We don't know. Yeah,
I mean, Force Friday's tomorrow, right? So I think they're doing something, but it's hard to tell sometimes.
Is there anything with Force Friday that you're excited for? Like, has any piece of merchandise hit you that you're like, yes?
Nah, I feel like I looked at a bunch of Black Series that were kind of neat. I haven't really looked into it. I kind of like being surprised sometimes. But like none of the Force Friday stuff really excites me. What excites me is that new augmented reality sort of thing. So I'm hoping they have kiosks for that at Fan Expo because that'd be awesome to see. Funny enough, I was at Toys R Us seeing if they had anything up in our local one over near my house. Nothing yet, but they're having a sale on Star Wars stuff. So,
well, anybody in Canada watching this, 5 locations in Canada are open up on midnight. I don't know where they.
Yeah.
The West Coast, I think, is very screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Ontario, there's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Whitby, for
whatever reason.
I guess they want 4 people to go. No offense. And Etobicoke, which is close to here.
Wow, not even downtown? Well, I guess there's no
No.
real Toys R Us downtown.
No, but it was Whitby threw me off. I was like, Whitby, okay, I guess. But yeah, Etobicoke made sense to me. I thought the Square One location would get it, or the Brampton location because there's people there. But I guess Whitby then. Well, actually, the Whitby location, I went to that one. Not that I ever stop at Whitby often, but
Yeah.
but I was on my way to the in-laws and we stopped at that. I can't remember why we stopped there, but I stopped at that Walmart and I walked in, and they had every single 40th anniversary Star Wars figure. Every single one. Like, they had like 10 of each one.
Yeah.
They had a whole
Yeah.
kiosk section of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, those are cool. But it was a week before Celebration. So I was like, I'm not going to buy these.
Yeah.
Now I wish I got it. I really just the Han, to be honest. Because Luke and Ben, Obi-Wan, I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
I saw R5 at EB the other day.
R5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they had the Princess Leia R2 pop.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
That one.
that
That's
came
a-
out after San Diego.
So, but yeah, I've seen those. But anyway, so the Whitby one, I guess they like getting their Star Wars stuff there. So whatever. But I can't remember the other ones. Check it out. West Coast, like I said, I'm pretty ssure you guys got ripped off.
It just seems silly. Like, it's okay. I mean, you're gonna want to put the toys in stores. Like, I would assume, like, because it's a Toys R Us exclusive with this, I think.
I think everything's got this.
But like, everything gets it. Like, just put. It's like it's not like a special thing. It's just it's a thing we scan and then like, oh, cool, look at all this stuff. Like, it's a cardboard fold out thing that you build, and it's done. Like, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe Fan Expo will have a bunch of stuff. That'd be great if they did.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool, but who knows? Hopefully they don't pull a Nintendo on us.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's tried to get the SNES Mini, but that was a clustermuck
Yeah.
of epic proportions, and it will be even worse when time comes.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
Well, you weren't even here for it.
Yeah.
I got an email saying you can pre-order. I clicked on it; it was gone. And if you were in Quebec, you weren't even allowed to. But GameStop in the States, apparently they sold like 2 at $80 cost.
Yeah.
It's $80 there. It was like $109 here because Canada.
Yeah.
And then they bundled it with like a bunch of other stuff for like over $100 just to like screw people over. And then what annoys me is you can go on eBay and order one for $250 American, $450 Canadian, and it's like, screw
That's
you.
still stupid.
And there's like people have like a ton, like they don't have them yet, but you see the NES Classic and there's just a ton of them. So hopefully that,
yeah, no, that's what I was thinking too. I'd rather get it off Amazon. So it's like,
no, but Amazon they're like $400 too. So
no, I know, but you know what I mean, right? Like, after a while, they will come down in price.
well, that
So
inevitably,
stupid.
I mean, the Switch is just starting to become available now.
Yeah,
in places. Anyway, that's enough Nintendo talk. I just don't understand like the collecting aspect of anything. Like I just
It's cool, but like at the same note, like give us a chance to get it.
well, that's like what's cool is this Rey figure right here. In 50 years, if it's still like this, it's not in a good condition. But if it was still like this, and then you were like, man, I really need that Rey pop.
Yeah.
I'll give you $50 for it. And I'd be like, that's a dumb price, sure. But now people are doing that like a week after they come out. And it's like, but like, no, they should you should make enough product to feed the demand.
Yeah.
At least.
Well, it's just like certain things. It's like, I don't know how people do it. Like they have to get all these things and then up them. Because it's like, if you don't, you got to strike while there's like a demand. So if you're in Canada and you want a Walgreens exclusive, of course you're going to pay $30 here for something that's $12 there in American, which is even less.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're paying Canadian, like I get it, but it's the whole hunt of it too. That's what I like about it. It's like
The hunt is fun. It's buying it on eBay or Amazon for way more is not fun. I'm just saying, like for Force Friday, I don't think there's gonna be that many problems. I think the Porg pillow might be a number one.
Yeah. That's one thing. Like we should look for Porg stuff. So
yeah,
I think that's gonna be the baby Groot this year of cons, right? I think it probably already started to happen, but like I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and it wouldn't be during the trailer. So the movie it would have been out because you see baby Groot at the end in the pot. So like that was huge.
Yeah.
Like the fan.
We'll see how Porgs do
Mm-hmm.
in the film, like how they're received, and then I think
Yeah.
next year might be Porg Central, and it's going to be funny because we got 5 months until Han Solo. After Last Jedi.
Yeah.
5 months to Han Solo.
Right.
How do you feel? And then if they go with how they're going, it'll be Last Jedi DVD in April, Blu-ray in April, digital copy in April, Han Solo a month later, a few weeks later, like 4 weeks later. So do you have your last Han Solo teaser attached to that Blu-ray? And then you get all the people that are buying your Blu-ray, digital copy, whatever, of Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, this Han Solo film looks incredible.
Yeah.
Is that how you might like? It's tough, but you know the first Han Solo trailer will be in front of the Last Jedi or just before Last Jedi. Why would you put it just before? Then you're competing with each other.
Yeah.
It's so confusing, but it's 5 months and I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on
Yay!
to
Never
this
tell
one.
me the odds.
Today's odds. We have no sponsors for the show. YouTube, do not hate us for
Yeah,
that.
YouTube.
They've been mean to us lately. I don't even understand what's going on.
I'm glad I don't get the emails.
No, it's not an email. It's just I'm just like,
Alert.
what? Yeah, I'm like, what? No, we don't.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. All right, here we go. The odds. The odds of Snoke being Gallius Rax.
I don't know who that is, so 0. No, I know he's important in the books, and he's like an Imperial officer, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. No, I'm not gonna go 0%. I'm gonna go 40 because if it's true, then I will be I'm much more interested in reading the books.
I'm going to go 0.
Wow.
There's a part of me that is always like, maybe, but he does get killed off pretty extravagantly. Spoiler
Okay, cool.
alert. I mean, but there are ways for him to come back and blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is, like you just said, and like I said about the guy from Vegas, is he's not going to care.
No.
And he's not going to read the books.
No, exactly.
That's not going to get him. He's going to get you to, which is great.
Yeah.
But why would you put a character in a book, kill the character off, and then have him show up in a movie?
Yeah.
And also, I don't think he's 9 feet tall in the books.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So there's that. But I do think Snoke fits in with Canto Bite's crew. There's something about Snoke and the Canto Bite people that it's tied in. I don't know what it is. It would be super cool if like Finn or Rose kind of brush shoulders with Snoke in a casino or something like that, and neither one of them realize who they are. That'd be kind of cool. Our next odd.
Yeah.
Odds of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Sir Ben, leaving Tatooine in his standalone film.
I'm going to go 75% because I mean, you could probably easily tell a whole movie on Tatooine, but I feel like, one, you're definitely going to see him out in space or somewhere running from the Empire and then getting to Tatooine. But then it would be kind of boring to not see a ton of like starships and stuff like that. So, yeah, 75%. I think something. Maybe even, like, would it count if he just goes into space around Tatooine?
Yeah, that counts.
I mean, the thing is, like, with the hyperspace, it's like you could be in another planet in 20 minutes, like driving across town. It almost seems like. So, he could easily go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to go 81.
Mm.
That might be high. I don't mind if he stays. I don't know what the story is, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want him to leave because I like the idea of him like kind of being stuck there, and that's his own personal hell. that he
Yeah,
can't put
yeah.
aside. But what story are you going to tell? We're going to get into the top 5 later on for the villain. So what do you tell there? Can you tell an entire story with just him on Tatooine?
Yeah.
That's really the X factor in all
Yeah,
of it.
because he wants to go into hiding, plus he has to watch Luke. So it's like, why would he leave, sort of thing.
There has to be a reason to get him off the planet. What could that reason be? We'll get into that.
But that could create the whole, like, jeopardy of the story.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So
that's what
I
it
got to
could
get back. Why does everyone want to go back to Jakku?
be. And our final odd, and this has been a lot of talk recently. I don't know if you've seen this one in Mexico, but the odds of Captain Phasma removing her helmet in The Last Jedi, because apparently there was a rumor that she was going to do it, and then word is starting to spread that she will not. And people are disappointed in this. My odds are full Brock.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cheat on this one, but I'm gonna add. I do not want her to lose that helmet because the mystery behind it is great. I don't mind if we see it in 9, 8. I'm kind of okay if she keeps it on 8. Kylo Ren has been unmasked so much that it's like. It was funny. I was putting some games away and I had the Monopoly and Match Game and what was the other one? A trivia game. Yeah. And they all have Kylo Ren's helmet on it. And now that's not really the face of Star Wars. No. Rey is definitely the face of Star Wars now. Yeah. But it's interesting to me. And I like the idea that Phasma keeps that on for now.
Yeah, no, I can agree. I'm going to go full Brock on it as well. But, like, she has the Boba Fett effect where it's like you could leave the helmet on, no one would care. Would it be cool if, like, she takes off the helmet and her face is scarred or something like that? Like, that'd be kind of cool. Or like a storyline where she just never gets out of the uniform. Yeah. To the point that, like, maybe something has to force her to take the helmet off and she won't take it off. That'd be cool. But, yeah, I mean, I really can't say. It's a cool costume, so why take it off?
I think if she takes it off, she should die right after. It should be one of those things. Take it off, die.
Oh, I see.
That's how I see
okay.
it, but I don't want her to die. So
I mean,
I can't wait for that book. That's the one thing I'm looking for on Force Friday is her book.
You got to give respect to Gwendolyn Christie to, like, be an actress and you never see her face. Like, I think I'm not trying to say that they're all vain, but it seems bizarre when you don't, you see the voice, you hear the voice. And maybe Gwendolyn Christie now is a little bit more famous. Again, I don't want to put it on that because I don't know, but like for her to not be seen, But
I think when you hear all the interviews with her, I think she gets it. Like,
yeah, that's what I was going to. I think she respects Star Wars. I mean, she hosted that one, the panels the prior year of Celebration. So I think she gets. I mean, you can't be part of a franchises like Game of Thrones and Star Wars and not like it's like, oh, I do whatever I want. It's like no, there's a Game of Thrones is quickly becoming the new type of Star Wars fandom, right? It's massive what you can do with that. So yeah, I think if you want to be successful in those franchises, you got to respect the fans.
Exactly. That's right. So do you have a book or comic?
I do.
Well, then guess
I
what?
have multiple things.
We're going to go on to books or comics. I'm going to take this week off. I took last week off. I'm going to take this week off. I'm going to come back with Phasma next week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So what do you have in store for us?
Well, this one I won't spend a ton of time on, but we finally got them.
Oh, what?
Weekly drew
I didn't know
both
that.
covers.
Can I see that?
Yes, you can have one. So there it is. A month later.
No. I got it. This is.
Yeah. That's the real Star Wars.
That's the first page of the issue.
Yeah. I want to see that movie. Lucky Logan. It looks good.
Too, but
it's not a ton. It's not a Star Wars related book. Like there's only like the storyline. Oh, it's stuff that what I don't understand, and maybe it's different in the States because maybe they got this quicker than we did. But they release all these pictures and all that, and it's a great idea. But why not just release it the same day that the magazine comes out? Like or a day later or whatever. I don't know. Because obviously magazines, like people don't want to go buy a physical copy. They want to see. They just want to see what's in it. Digitally is just as good. No problem with that. But yeah, so it's cool. And then 2 covers. That's smart. Like, so yeah, we got the cool Luke and whatever. Ray. So yeah, I got it. Yay. I forget where I bought
Congratulations. Mexico?
No. 1 of 2. I didn't notice that. It says collector's a cover 1 of 2.
Well, you better frame those.
I got 2 of 2. And then also, I couldn't get the physical copies, but I read Darth Vader 3 and 4. And it was a letdown. No, not true. It was, I think everyone's like, oh, who is this? And they were very excited. And like the hairstyle looks like Rey. And you're like, ooh. And like, this is a perfect opportunity to, not so much. It's very good because Darth Vader goes against Jedi Master.
Oh, it's like
Krillic, I think.
It's Kush.
I had it open here. Now it's closed. Kush. Correct. And like the art is very good. The story's cool. Like this would be awesome as a cartoon. Like he's like fighting a droid in the opening of issue 3, and like he's also doing like he's fighting the droid with lightsabers, and then like doing Jedi Padawan. Like they have like those things where you have to unlock a nod or something. It's that using the Force. So he's doing all these multiple things to sort of prove how strong he is. And like he senses Vader coming in, and he shoots off one of these like Padawan lesson things and takes down a ship with it. Like he's like, whoosh.
That's awesome.
So like it's cool. Like they fight, and Vader is kind of quickly vanquished. It's cool. Like he cuts off his leg because it's a robot leg and all that. But you can see in this picture right here, like that hair looks like, I don't know if you can see it there. That looks like similar to Rey's, which is neat. And that could just be a psych out, right? So, but like there's like this. He meets him on top of this mountain, but there's all these things in his way, like there's a dam that like it drowns Vader, but then he uses the Force and pushes the water out of the way like that. So that's kind of cool. But then they fight. He vanquishes Vader, but then Vader uses the Force to like destroy the droid that was helping him, and uses his body parts to like rebuild his leg. And then Vader, so the Jedi realizes what's happened, so he's like, I have to leave and go restore the Jedi Council because I'm the only one left. So he goes down to this. There's a city on this planet that he's staying on. They had been keeping his ship, and of course it's like an old Republic cruiser, or not cruiser, like it's like what are the pointy ones? Like we're supposed to be like X-wing fighters. You know those ones? Anyways, I can find. It doesn't matter. It's an old ship. And he's like, oh, that's from the prequels. So it's cool because he's been there for a while. But then Vader follows him to the city and like basically makes him. It's like either like just like let me defeat you or I will destroy the whole city by like bringing this dam down and drowning them. And I believe the end of the fourth one is he basically, I think he kills the Master Keurig and takes his lightsaber, but then something happens that he has to like go and it ends. I can't remember. But anyways, the comics were really good. Nothing like life changing happens in it. It's just sort of like it's really just the story of how he gets a new, Kyber crystal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Excellent read though, because it's sort of like, oh, like this. It reads like the last scene of Rogue One, where it's like, oh, this is what he could do. Like they just couldn't do that in the movies.
Do you feel though that because this was 6 issues, right? 5, 6.
This is issue 4.
But
I think 5 is about to come out.
So, but it's in total is going to be 6 issues, right?
I don't know.
Or is it
I would assume.
Like, don't you feel though with these stories, and I felt this with the Darth Maul, like this could have just been a one-off. Like,
Yeah,
you could have done it all in a one-off.
Just do an extra large.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I know they want the money, but I feel like when I read these, the art is so good, the stories are good.
Yeah.
But like, why am I spending a month apart? To get what feels like to just be one giant.
Just put it out as a trade. Because they've done that before. DC does it all the time with their Earth One stuff. And they don't put it out in single issues. They just, here's a hardcover. And like, great, I love this.
Yeah.
And you read it as one long story. No, so how it ends is he kills Master Keurig, drowns the city, and then that's it. It's like, now I have my Kyber crystal. It's like, ooh, that's crazy.
Hashtag that's so Vader.
Yeah. So that was books and comics.
Yeah, next week I promise you guys I will have Phasma.
Yay.
All right, Hollow News time.
Hollow News.
Big week or small week? Tomorrow, Force Friday.
Yeah.
Somewhat excited.
Yeah.
You know what? I was putting a lot of my toys away.
Mm-hmm. We are adults.
A lot of my Star Wars stuff away, though. Yeah. And I own a lot, and I don't think I'm going to be doing too much spending.
For Force Friday? Yeah. So, this is kind of a bogus story.
Oh, yeah.
But
this picture's cool. That's why it's there.
Oh, it's very cool. But was it Portuguese? It was an article. A Hungarian. I'm totally off. The Hungarian magazine Mazamania had, as you can see, if you're on our YouTube channel, you can see there's a cover right there of Luke in dark Jedi clothing.
We'll put this picture on Facebook.
Yes. And if you follow Star Wars, I saw this before you saw the article or whatever. It didn't faze me at all because they're like the whole point is like, oh, he's wearing black clothing. That means he's evil. I would argue that this is just a trick of light in the photography because when I look at this, it doesn't look any different from what we had on Entertainment Weekly. it's just gray, and maybe it's just dark. It's a dark gray, so it looks like it's dark.
Also, he wears black in Return of the Jedi.
Exactly where I was gonna go. I'm like, and that was not an issue. So, it looks cool. I mean, the cape looks a little different, but whatever. Like, I just thought this was kind of, but it's worthwhile looking into it, and it's a cool cover. I wouldn't mind having a copy of this magazine.
That's why we're leading with it. Next,
the Super Troopers. Now. We've seen a lot of pictures of the Praetorian Guard and the new design of the Star Wars, the Stormtroopers, First Order Stormtroopers, specifically the one on the left there with the black, half of the top of the helmet is black.
He looks like a Seinfeld cookie.
Apparently they are called the Judicial Troopers, and they are, I'm not sure. I can't remember what the difference was between them.
They're going after Finn.
That's right. They're going after Finn. They're fighting Finn. So, like, we'll see a lot of that. These are the ones that, like, making Star Wars, my favorite, where they've totally fallen off the face of the planet, it seems. I don't see any articles from them anymore or mention of them.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're still around, but it's just, like, a couple months ago, like, all the news was coming through them. These are the ones that first
in fairness, a lot of the stuff is coming to light now.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped months ago. So
yeah, exactly. So like this is what Lumberjack Steve drew a couple months ago. Where it's a different trooper, and he has the shock baton or whatever. So that's what they are. So it's cool. I'm interested in it, and I think the big deal. It was revealed that what they're called because they are the Disney figures are coming out.
Yeah,
that Praetorian Guard, so Judicial Guard.
I think the Elite Series there's Praetorian Guards and a
First Order Judicial is what it's called. The Execution. Yes.
Yeah. Next.
So Rian Johnson was talking about his movie Last Jedi, and that specifically there won't be as many of the typical wipes in this movie, and apparently the highest one was Episode 1, Phantom Menace, with 55 wipes. Now, if you don't know what this is literally they cut from one scene to the next, and there's a physical transition goes straight across wipe. It's an old
or there's clock wipes also in Star Wars.
That's true. There's clock wipes as well.
It's some nifty wipes
in the TV industry. It's kind of never used because it's kind of hokey,
film,
but it works. It works quite well with Star Wars. So that's what Star Wars. With the crawl and the wipes are sort of like the thing. So apparently, Rian Johnson has admitted that there's only 12 in The Last Jedi. And just so you know, Empire had 42, New Hope had 31, and The Force Awakens had 14. So he now will be his movie will be now the lowest with wipes.
And Force Awakens was low.
Yeah. So it's whatever. And that's fine because it's like this doesn't affect the story. This is just a matter of creative control on something.
Well, I think it was the flow of the story.
Yeah, I think it's he wants to put his look, and his look doesn't have wipes, so fine, it is the way it is. So that's kind of cool, though. I never knew that factoid about the wipes. So
I did like that he came out on Twitter and posted that.
Yeah,
because it shows that he cares.
Yeah,
he actually is like, oh man.
Yeah,
like he's like, I'm not changing it because it's the story. This is what it is. But at the same time, I want you guys to know that I respect what's come before me. I'm not trying to piss anyone off.
And I forgot that this has a video. I did not watch it.
This is from Collider.
Yeah, it's from Collider. They're saying that they were talking quite extensively about how Infinity War and Avengers Infinity War and Last Jedi are going to come out roughly the same week or exactly the same week.
No, isn't Infinity War coming in May?
Or is it going toe-to-toe with Han Solo?
Yeah, I think it's more Han Solo.
Well, the question was like, who's gonna win in it? So yeah, let's just make it Last Jedi because Han Solo is gonna do.
I think they're saying Last Jedi Infinity War because it's only a 5-month difference.
So they're not gonna win a specific. It's not a battle for a specific weekend. It's just box office numbers.
Yeah.
So they were talking quite extensively on that, and it should be interesting. I'm very interested to see how it turns out, though. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like Disney's just like, you can't see me, but I'm just doing a money.
I think I wrote,
and let's put out a Pixar movie too.
Yeah, it's just like it was like in the run I wrote down, whoever wins, we win.
Yeah,
It's like, who cares? We're gonna see these movies. What does it different? Like, who? What does it matter to us? What makes more money? I don't care.
Like, they're both gonna be. It's a foregone conclusion. They're gonna do what? Han Solo? Who knows? Thor Ragnarok? I don't know. I want to see all of those movies.
Yeah. What argument would I be more interested in? Would be Han Solo versus Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. So.
Not that I even care about that either, but like, those are two movies that is like, okay, like Avengers and Star Wars, they're gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
Flat out, no question.
Yeah.
Han Solo isn't going to make $1 billion. Rogue One did. Can Han Solo do that? Thor Ragnarok's not going to make $1 billion. I don't think. I think it'll be 700 to 900. Not that I'm an expert. I have no idea.
But there's just like they're not pushing those movies. They're talking about the other ones. Though it is funny, like people are interested in Thor. Yeah. I was surprised.
Thor could make $1 billion. I don't think. I think it's going to just like Spider-Man's struggling to get to that. Like he's not going to hit $1 billion. That's because Sony and Marvel do not trust Spider-Man.
That's true.
Look at me. Spider-Man's gold.
Though on the Spider-Man topic, there's been blurbs about Spider-Man possibly being in the Netflix universe sort of thing. Because I think there was an Easter egg or something, or just people are like, we should put Spider-Man in. I'm like, well, yeah, you should put Spider-Man in.
He should be in anything, but let him be Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's gold. But
this
you know
has
what?
Been Hollow News.
Yeah, Hollow News. We're talking about Spider-Man. Anyway, top 5.
Top 5. Standing by.
Are you good with this top 5?
Yeah, I think it's cool. We should be talking more about Obi-Wan anyway. So the top 5 today is.
I wanted to do this last week, but I wanted to be with you in the same room when we talked about this one, so we're going this way. So, don't touch me.
Top 5 villains that Obi-Wan can face in the Obi-Wan film.
What? I hope that there are no villains and it's just a very peaceful movie. And he's just sitting beside
This is my garden.
It's just him with some marshmallows. Like, hey guys, just hanging out in Tatooine. Luke, you want to play some V-ball? Want to play some V-ball, Luke?
Luke.
My number 1 villain is Aunt Beru.
Oh.
What? No. All right, number 5, Brock.
Number 5, and this is sort of a cop-out as always. I'm going to call it the Tatooine Crime Syndicate.
Okay.
And, like, obviously that includes
like Jabba?
Jabba. But I would like it that he faces off to, like, small time and then hits Jabba. Like Jabba doesn't come out right. And I'm again thinking of this more of as a TV show. But like it would be great. Like he meets Watto, and Watto is his in.
Oh my god, yes.
Into like or whatever. Because like in the comics, he's just constantly like in the wrong place, the wrong place, the wrong time, and like then Jabba's like sending people. So like Krishna-Tan, the Chewbacca, the Wookiee assassin goes after Obi-Wan. So that would be cool. So stuff like that where like he's constantly, and then he is like, okay, Jabba or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
You're number 5.
Himself.
Oh, what?
He could be battling with demons, and then we get all flashbacks.
Ooh, la,
with Grievous and Maul. But himself. But I think that would be a boring Star Wars film.
I was thinking that too, like somehow like Force Ghost or something like that. But like I just couldn't figure out how it would work. So.
I think, dealing with himself could be a part of the film.
Yeah.
Again, the Billy Elliot director, so you figure there has to be something personal in there. But it could be a cool way. But I just don't think if you're doing a Star Wars film, we talked about with Han Solo last week, Han Solo can just be a fun film.
Yeah.
That wouldn't really make Obi-Wan a fun film. And I think as much as we're like, it doesn't need to be a fun film. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It needs to be a fun film.
Mm.
That's where I go. My number 4, I'll go is Snoke / the Dark Side.
Okay.
It's not going to be either, but you never know.
Mine is sort of the same vein as my number 5, Bounty Hunters. So like Boba Fett, Bosk, or Cad Bane for that matter, or Singh or whatever.
That's my number 3 is Boba Fett. Because like you just said, and then if you're going to do a Boba Fett film, we talked about this, I think, tie these things together. Like,
yeah.
Piece them together. Be like, this piece is here, then it follows this piece and that piece and that piece. Mystery box it over more films. Just keep doing it. My number 3 was always number 3. My number 2.
I haven't done number 3.
I thought your number 3 was.
No, number 4. No, it was Crime Syndicate. My number 3 is The Mandalorians. Pre-Vizsla, whatever. I know it's too much of a stretch because you have to watch the Clone Wars one to really enjoy that, but like, why not?
They could get around that though.
Yeah. I mean, he's so intertwined with the Mandalorians during the Clone Wars stuff, so yeah.
I think you can get around that in a way that people wouldn't, because they would look cool. So if they look cool, people like.
Because you gotta look at it this way. You look at it as a Han Solo film. Han Solo, they're making it so you know what happened to him prior to A New Hope. Now we know a ton through the prequels and then Clone Wars, but the average moviegoers won't. They'll be just like, so what happened between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and then what's happened from Revenge of the Sith to now? And you could easily while I was fighting, I met this Mandalorian princess, and we kind of fell in love. She died. Now I want revenge, and this person wants revenge on me. It's easy. So.
Yeah, and that doesn't need to be like the plot. That doesn't need to be the plot of the film. Yeah, like the Mandalorians. The Mandalorians can be a part of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's even less to explain. You can accept that easily. What's your number 2?
Sheev Palpatine, because I couldn't think of anything else.
Oh, I'm toying between 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Inquisitor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Number 2. It should have made them number 1. I like the idea of more Inquisitors being out there and them kind of hunting him down and trying to figure him out. But then they're like, I really like the idea, and this is why I think this one should have been number 1 over my number 1. The idea that the Inquisitors go to hunt down Obi-Wan, but on their way discover Luke. Right. He's Force sensitive, and they're like, that's the chosen one, because as far as they know, Vader's not. You know what I mean? Like same as Maul kind of thinks it. So then it could be about them trying to get Luke, and then Obi-Wan trying to thwart them. And number 1.
Say it at the same time.
Padme
1, 2, 3.
Darth
Plagueis.
Padme Amidala.
No, Darth Vader is the obvious choice. I mean, look at what he can do in one little scene in Rogue One. So, but the question is, like, he hasn't in A New Hope. He hasn't seen him.
But if this movie takes place close enough to Revenge of the Sith, I think there's a way that you can bring Vader into it.
Yeah.
And have one more epic battle between them.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, the problem with Vader is there has to be a consequence to that epic battle. Yeah. The next one that would make him say, I have not seen him since, and then walk away. Yeah. Like, there has to be something. And we got that in Revenge of the Sith. That's the problem. So now, what is the consequence there? Right. The consequence could be Rey's mom being killed by Vader.
Right.
Or Rey's grandmother. Because Rey's a Kenobi.
Oh, what?
No, she's not. She's a Quaterneros.
That explains her weird clock-shaped body.
But there has to be a reason why.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only problem with Vader for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a pretty easy addition to a movie like that.
And it would be way more fun than the comic way where he went to Maz Eisley and he was like, "Oh, I heard about Darth Vader. Apparently, Vader's the guy that." I don't know why Obi-Wan doesn't sound like that. When I watch Star Wars, that's what it sounds like. All of my copies are bootlegged from somewhere. That's episode 57. That was the top 5 Obi-Wan villains. Let us know who you guys would like to see as Obi-Wan's villain.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
In the film, because I think there's a few more we can go to. I really like bring a Watto back, because I want to talk about this in a couple weeks, but I really would like to see Dexter Jettster show up in this film.
Obi-Wan.
But how does he not? Because, I want to go into this later, but I was talking about this with, I think, Rob. We're talking about how I want Dexter Jettster, and I'm like, but why would he go to Coruscant? But then I was thinking, he doesn't necessarily have to go to Coruscant. But Dexter could be like his informant on the inside in Coruscant. He's like, look, I've been overrun by the Empire. I don't really want a part of this, but I can't do anything because they're going to kill me and my family, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's picture this in Dexter's voice. And then he's like, Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan's like, Dexter, I need your help with this. What is this? Blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, that's Mandalorian. Yeah. You would know that because of whatever. And then, or, that's this or that. Or Lord Vader's around. Then he's like, Lord who? And then Dexter could be the one that tells him that Lord Vader's still alive. Yeah. And Darth Vader's still around running rampant in the galaxy. So that's my take on Dexter Jettster.
Yeah. Sounds good. So this has been episode 57. Thank you for joining us once again, scumbags.
Welcome back to the cold, Brock.
Actually, it's gray here. I'm like, this is awesome.
I hate you. It was 12 degrees when I went to the soccer game last week.
We're closing the pool.
I know, 12 degrees. I had to wear a scarf.
Ah.
With mitts, I was freezing cold. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll be back next week. We'll have videos this weekend at Fan Expo. I Rebel on Saturday, possibly Sunday as well. Look for that, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. If you're not Eastern, I don't know what the difference is. So maybe it's 4 o'clock your time or 5 o'clock your time. I don't know. I mean, if you're in Europe, then it's tomorrow. I can't do anything about it.
Welcome to the next day.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. What?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and may the force of others be with you.
Always, always, always. Okay, bye.
Hey, scumbags. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.